Welcome to GC Cars. My name is Eric.
And I'm Jesse.
And it's the all-new Mercedes-Benz EQE. Alrighty, Mercedes-Benz EQE, all new. We've already been in the EQS, and while it was a little expensive for what it delivered, we really liked it. It was genuinely fantastic.
Yeah.
But now as the E-Class, of course, a little shorter, a little cheaper.
Super cheap. Super cheap.
Cheaper at $120,000 Canadian.
As spec'd. You can even spend more.
You can spend a little more. This is almost fully spec'd out, the EQE500 here. But yeah, we're going to figure out if this is worth that money or
is it 6 figures not well spent?
Exactly. So always want to take a look at the extra. First, I'm going to take a look at the interior, and then we're going to drive it. Alpine Grey non-metallic Manufaktur. It's one of the special colors they have.
Finally, he gets to speak German.
$2,200 optional color. I do like how it looks though.
I like the color. It's a bit pricey for $2,200. I think this would look really cool matte.
You can get plenty of matte colors.
Yeah, this color will look cool matte.
This is cool for Mercedes. They do offer quite a bit of matte colors. I'm be honest, I didn't like the EQS looks. I think it was very blobby. This has still some of that blobbiness, but I think because it's a little shorter, it's a little more compact, it does work a lot better, especially in this color.
I think if we rank it against other EVs, it's in the top. It's in the top tier of
G80 though.
Yeah, okay, you got me there. G80 looks pretty damn good.
No, if I had to complain about it, I would say it doesn't really look like a Mercedes except for this part and the big star, and the piano black grille, which is fully piano black.
My biggest
scratches at 7,000 kilometers, and you will never get rid of the scratches. But overall, honestly, I'm getting used to it.
Right.
I can appreciate how this looks. The wheels,
AMG rims,
very ugly, but they give us range, so whatever. I'm not too keen on that. If you on the other side, you see like a little slot here. That's for your windshield wiper fluid, because Mercedes thought, let's make it proprietary. You cannot open this hood without a special tool you have to order from Mercedes, just to give you that extra little bit of squeeze. I mean, to be fair, there's not much you want to access under there, but
that's something that other manufacturers don't do.
Let us do it. Anyhow, side profile, yeah, that's where it gets blobby. It's a blob.
I don't mind it. It has like a little bit of a sport back appearance. It's not the worst. I found the EQS a little more blobby, to be honest.
Yes. That said, I still don't like this.
That's fair.
I don't know. I'm not a big fan of
subjective.
Rear end though. First of all, these taillights, these 3D tail, kind of cool.
I'm a big fan. The rear end is my favorite part of the car. I like the lights, how they wrap around. I like this little whale tail. I'm a fan. It looks pretty sporty.
The diffuser at the bottom looks pretty good.
It looks, again, minus all the piano black, but it's sporty. It looks nice to me.
Yeah, it's definitely, this is probably the best angle. Kind of like this rear 3/4 a little bit. Honestly,
this doesn't look like an EV to me. Just the rear does not look like an EV.
Like I'm very happy with how it looks. But are we going to be happy in the interior? Let's find out. Let's go in. What the fuck is this piece of shit? I was quoting a meme, but it's actually fairly accurate because, wowza! So first of all, you see this? It looks very pretty on video. It looks very pretty to look at.
It's like a piece of gold that you scratch a little bit and you realize it's not gold. It's a piece of coal.
It's a piece of coal. This is...
And I hate to say it.
Let me just...
We have no bias.
Every single car I have ever been in was better built than this car. And we're not talking about just luxury cars. We're talking about any car. And by a mile.
Kia's, the Hyundai Ioniq 6 was a mile
above this.
Above.
Nissan Sentra entry-level models. That's not even a hyperbole. I kid you not. Was better. Give them some audio examples of this.
This sounds like a motel where you go to do some unsavory things.
Everything you touch is intense crap quality. Everything creaks.
The whole
rattles,
thing moves.
Everything moves. And it's like, yes, we're specifically doing this right now, but we've noticed all these things by accident. Just being in this car, driving in this car. It also it starts getting in.
Yeah.
The door handles are so incredibly terrible.
There maybe is a reason for that. We'd like to know.
No, I thought, it's like, oh, maybe
for defrosting.
Defrosting, but it still pops in. Like you can't wiggle it when it's in, when a bit defrosted full. So it's literally just not hinged well.
And we're not trying to hold this to a different standard. If this car cost 60 grand, we would still be making these nitpicks.
Yeah, if this cost 40 grand, I would still make the same nitpicks because everything is like the whole build. There's no build quality.
And then you got hard touch plastic here, right, and then leather here.
Yeah, so literally by the footwell kind of like cubby, having me hold it, I like to call them. We have leather, like you said, which pretty much only our feet touch, our shoes, and then literally the plastic right by the door handle,
which you're going to touch every time you open the door,
is the cheapest, scratchiest plastic It's louder than me speaking. That
And then-
you have seen in any car.
And it's like you got this beautiful leather material.
This leather is really nice.
But they're lulling you into a sense of, they're kind of blinding you here because everything down below is
Yeah, like
just-
this is nice, but as soon as you're like, even if you put your arm down, it'll creak and rattle.
And this
Because
whole
the
thing moves?
Because all the plastic down there is just cheap. And then you have this leather, which is fair enough. It's like, this is incredible. I've never seen anything this bad. And this keeps turning off, but that might be an option. It's very annoying. It's very hot today. Also, we have
This moves.
Oh yeah, yeah.
at
This moves up and down, even though it's just meant to be pressed inwards. This is all piano black. Okay, let's quickly pause. Positives.
It looks great.
It looks absolutely
Minus
fantastic.
the piano black. It looks
Yeah.
great.
The seats are fantastic.
Very comfortable.
They're extremely, especially the headrest. They're very cushy,
Good ventilation, pretty good massage.
heated and ventilated at the same time. Yeah, no cushion massage, but very good massage overall.
At the same time is a good point.
Yeah, I like that a lot. So these seats are really nice. Like I said, this leather up top
Beautiful.
is great. The steering wheel feels nice. That's it. Everything's garbage. Everything else about this interior pretty much.
Infotainment's not bad. It's just a little bit complicated.
I had the EQS with the Hyperscreen, and I said this was the best infotainment ever. You can get the Hyperscreen. That's why this whole dashboard looks like it is, because this can be replaced with a one-piece glass
$10,000 option.
$10,000 option Hyperscreen, which is like 3 screens, which is really cool.
It's awesome, but
The
$10,000.
Hyperscreen is really cool. $10,000. The same infotainment cropped onto this screen loses so much functionality because everything is tighter. You can't it's more in menus. It just doesn't work as well. It's not terrible by any means.
Right.
It's totally usable. Android Auto, Apple CarPlay wireless, and there's other stupid things like, okay, I'm in Android Auto. We have no buttons to switch the preset, like the radio station. We don't have a button to change the radio station on our steering wheel or down here. So what I have to do is I have to be in the kind of the music selection screen into the gauge cluster, which you can't have in all gauge cluster screens, for me to be able to change. Otherwise, if I'm in Android Auto, I have to go out, hit the home screen, go here, and then press a button, go back. Well, I can go and go back. Like this car is just like, I feel like 20 different teams worked on this and they did not communicate at all. These paddles are
Does the screen move? A little bit.
the screen, but yeah, the chrome lining around it. Even if
It's
you
like-
just like sometimes you would like you kid next to it and it just separates.
It's just loose.
It's
It
loose.
just doesn't feel like it should be like this. That's what it should look like.
It should be tight.
And look at that. I can fit like a dime between there. I don't know. It
And-
just frustrates me. It just frustrates me.
Yeah, I hate like this car is genuinely so
Oh.
disappointing and frustrating. Okay,
And you got your wireless charger here. But if you want to use your cup holder, if you put a cup in here, you cannot put your phone in here.
yeah, it's extremely tight. So like, yeah,
No,
like,
it's
even
not
with-
tight. If you have a cup
No,
in there,
yeah,
you
it's
cannot get
actually
your phone
doesn't
out.
work. You can take it out,
Sure.
but then you don't have coupled.
So yeah, it's just all these little things, they add up to just kind of frustrate the heck out of you.
Oh, and also we're not done. The headliner is super rough and abrasive. You can get a better one for $2,000, fair. But these sun visors are literally made of cardboard. Okay, I don't know, but they feel and they sound. You can literally crunch the sides, and if you've ever had an Amazon package, which we've all done, if you crunch the cardboard, this is it. And yeah, it's like
ASMR.
the sounds of the EQS. This is
And then going on to the back.
so.
Back seats are comfortable.
Back seats are comfortable, not like huge amounts of space,
Right.
but honestly, totally workable. We have the optional $700 heated seats on both sides.
2 USB-C. Legroom is fine.
Yeah, also we have a double sunroof, which is really cool.
I just feel like we're saying so many negative things.
Unfortunately, we have to. That's like
We're never getting a
Well, you know what? I
Mercedes
don't. Yeah, we'll see about that. Don't expect an SL anytime
I mean,
soon.
we like the EQS. That shows that we're not just
We
trying
like
to hate
the
on Mercedes.
EQS. I love the E63. The CLA was really fun and was a great car. Even GLB and GLA I liked. But this is just... Mercedes started to have problems with quality a couple of years ago, and it became a bit of a kind of like a running joke. But this is just a completely different level.
As a side note, this is so bad. We're actually hoping to go to a dealership and see an EQE to make sure that this isn't a lemon.
Yeah,
I
it's
just
so
find it
bad.
hard to believe that they would give a press car which is going to be reviewed. I find it hard to believe they give a bad specimen, like a bad example.
Yeah, and it's like, it's just, we're really trying to find the excuse, but there is no excuse. Also, these vents, this is similar
like the way
to
they
the
look.
EQs. They look great, and all the ambient lighting, spectacular.
But it is the cheapest plastic I've ever felt in my
It's like
entire
Fisher
life.
Price. Like I feel like if I go to Toys R Us and pick out a $5 like throwaway gift for a kid, for a toddler, it would be better quality than this.
And it's so loose that if you get a bump in the road, it's going to move on its own.
I guess trunk space, 15 cubic feet of space. That's pretty good. Small opening, but it works fine. Like you can get more. Like trunk space is good.
Yeah, nothing wrong with it.
But oh, man, I'm just.
This is how he was when I first met up with him after he picked up this car. He was so frustrated. I've never seen him like that before.
I was literally for an hour straight the whole drive. I was just ranting in my head.
He had a headache.
I literally had a headache. Like I don't get like triggered by stuff, but I was so frustrated
He was
by
triggered.
this. I just can't. The audacity to sell a car with this quality for $120,000. The audacity to sell a car with this quality at all.
I know.
And not pull it straight from the factory line and be like, guys, this is unacceptable. We need to review our procedures. I
mean, if I was their quality control guy and I saw this, I'd be like, back to the drawing board.
Yeah, it's incredible. And it's a shame because this could have been really nice. This could have been really nice.
Everything about this car is great minus the interior quality.
But we'll see about the driving part.
Well,
should we go driving?
it's an EV. I'm not expecting it to be terrible.
Yeah, it's not going to be terrible. Let's go driving.
But let's go drive.
Okay, out in the EQE, hopefully redemption time for this vehicle after we just had to be a little harsh on it. But, sport mode, brake torque. Oh boy. Oh. Hello.
Okay.
Woo!
Yeah, I felt that right in my stomach.
Yeah, that was
It goes.
it's pretty good.
She goes, oh yeah.
Woo!
That'll wake you up.
That'll wake you up pretty good. So, we have a dual motor setup, one in the front, one in the rear, producing 402 horsepower and 633 pound-feet of torque.
And we felt that just now.
And we felt that, and the power is coming from a 90.6 kilowatt-hour battery, which lets us do stuff like, I'm just going to straighten it out, and... So what's interesting about this car, it's very fast.
It's very fast.
But what I noticed on both of these sends is something we did notice before. I feel the power drops after like 2.5 seconds of sending it, and then you just feel like it's not as quick anymore. Like it's still plenty fast.
It is.
But it's not this kind of like, wow, I'm starting to like throw up here in a second because it's not that fast anymore. It's still good for like 4.4 seconds, 0 to 60, which I think is
No complaints.
totally adequate.
Yeah.
And it is nice, quiet, and refined. Of course, it is extremely smooth to drive. And what Mercedes does, what I really like, what more manufacturers should do, is if you're at a stoplight and you have the creep mode enabled, right? So just like an automatic,
right?
If you get on the brake, it'll start rolling. This one is if you press the brake pedal fully once, it'll hold.
Right.
And instead of having an auto hold button where it always holds, this is just like depending on what you do, which I prefer.
Situational.
Exactly. So we do always do a hand test though, so let's put into sport.
And I got no handle here, so.
You get no handles anywhere actually, so have fun holding on, my friend. And send it in. Nice rotation, thank you. And it is, it's not an AMG, but it's good. It's got the power and it's got the dynamics to be quite enjoyable. Although this is not meant to be a sports car.
No.
It's a very easy kind of
It's a fast
drive.
straight line car, but it's a cruiser.
Exactly, and that's I think what it does fairly well. I'll do one more send, and do you want to drive after that?
Yeah, sure.
So let's send it into the other driving segment. Whew!
All right.
Whoa! Whew! And now you're in the driver's seat.
I heard a different sound there.
Yes, exactly, because we have the sound experience. As you might have heard in the first few launches, we had the Transformers kind of sound, which I really like. Then send it once more. This is Silver Waves. We previously been in Vivid Flux, and we also have Roaring Pulse. Let me put that on. Just very deep, thumpy, a little more like internal combustion.
Sounds a little V80.
Yeah, I'm definitely a Vivid Flux kind of guy. I like that Transformers Michael Bay kind of like boop, 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 which is kind of cool. But yeah, let's talk a little bit about more of the kind of like daily driving experience that we kind of hinted on, which this is obviously geared towards. First of all, the brakes are shit.
Yeah,
That we come to the
100%.
stops.
It's like I find myself stopping past white lines almost every time.
Yeah.
Because I can't anticipate how it's mushy. I don't know how you explain it. Mushy.
Yeah, so I find it, first of all, it's totally mushy, the pedal. And then it's like, it feels like it goes like a lot of braking, no braking, a lot of braking, no braking, a lot of braking. So I just like, I brake more, then I brake less. And it's hard to anticipate. I got used to it after about 400 kilometers. So eventually it does get better. So if you test drive it and notice it's kind of crap, you'll get there. You'll never have a lot of like confidence in your brakes. Even with the handling test when I was slowing down for that corner, I'm just like, okay, I can't quite gauge how much braking power I'm going to get. But it is all right. What does annoy me though, because we have our recuperation modes, right? So different amounts of braking. It pulls the pedal away from you.
Yeah, it does.
So if you put it into strong recuperation, it'll literally pull the pedal away from you as soon as it does that.
And you'll find yourself trying to find it.
Yeah. And it's like, guys, we're imitating engine braking. Engine braking does not pull my pedal away. But what do you think about the ride quality in this?
Well, I think it's great. Like I was going to say, the braking is the only thing to me that's a hindrance for daily driving.
Yes.
Everything else about this car is a pleasure to drive.
It is really nice.
Right?
Like the suspension rides extremely well.
It's super quiet, which
is
something we didn't talk about yet, I don't think.
It is, yeah, it is extremely quiet. We have the like $1,500 acoustic upgrade, which gives you guys thicker laminated glass.
Worth it.
Yeah, so it's extremely quiet in here.
Like we were flying the drone directly over the car, and we couldn't hear it.
Yeah, and I've like even when city traffic, you have like cars like accelerating fairly hard next to you, you don't hear a thing, and then it rides really well. So you do get, like, it is an extremely refined vehicle once you're out on the road.
Yes.
Which I really like. Of course, this being an EV, we have to talk a bit about like range and charging and all that. And just like the EQS, this is pretty good.
Above average.
Yes, way above average. Like this doesn't have as big of a battery as the EQS does, but still, if I charge this fully, I get about 550 kilometers out of it, which honestly is
really good.
It's really good.
Winter's probably going to be more like 400.
Yes, but definitely better than most competitors. The G80 we had, I think in the summer you're going to hit like 450. So we're looking at a solid like 15-20% increase in terms of range that this EQE gets. It's not quite as efficient.
Holy, like I had to push the brake pedal so far there.
Yeah, right? It's
like just when you think you're going to get that response, you just need to push further and further and further.
Yeah, just you keep finding.
I mean, the gas pedal's great.
The gas pedal's pretty responsive.
I mean, can you call it a gas pedal in an EV? What do you call it?
No, so technically it's called an accelerator.
The accelerator.
The accelerator.
I just learned something new just now.
All right, there you go. So, and lastly, I think we can talk about tech. But before we talk about tech, this is super slippery, but there's some compromises to that in terms of the shape and the visibility we have here.
Oh, I mean, this rear window is like a Camaro window.
That's
what it looks like to me.
Yeah, it might actually be worse. But
Camaro was like a tank.
I don't see anything back there, and then we have these tiny side mirrors.
Yeah.
And we have like no cameras to make up for that, so we don't have like Genesis has the side, like the blind spot cameras,
which this car should have. I mean, come on.
Yes, but we don't have a digital rearview mirror, nothing like that, which would really assist in kind of giving you an overview of how the vehicle is,
right?
Where you are. So this is one of those cars where you want to change lanes, you just have to send it for 2 seconds to know that nobody's around you, which isn't ideal. Yeah, but other tech, it joins. And there we go. We do have a lane keep assist, lane centering assist, a very good active lane centering assist, and especially coupled to adaptive cruise control. You can't do them separately, but it works really well, and the steering wheel recognition of your hand works. So you don't have to like wiggle it or anything. You just have to very calmly put your hand on the steering wheel. Then it works.
There's a lot of good stuff.
There is a lot of good stuff, and even like the Burmester sound system is really good. But sorry, yeah,
it's just the bad kind of, sours it a bit.
Which is, I think, where we can start coming to the conclusion. As spec, on pretty much top spec out, this costs $120,505 Canadian.
And you can spend about easily what, 10 or 12,000 more on options.
I mean, once you have the Hyperscreen, yeah, you get in there. You get in there. So it's just, honestly, it's a shame because this car shows that Mercedes can build a good car,
right,
if they want to, but they chose not to. Because I can't, in good conscience, recommend this vehicle to anyone with the build quality issues. Like this car feels like it's gonna fall apart after 20,000 kilometers.
I mean, considering the G80 electrified is what, 20 some odd thousand less?
Yeah, like $15,000. Yeah, it's clocks in at like 100. And that's the car where I'm looking at. Like, if you're looking for an electric sedan that is like luxury and
Hard to beat.
take the G80. You have a better interior. Not like, first of all, quality is vastly
really good.
better, and like the materials are better. Like I just remind everyone of our nice scratchy plastics. Like quality and materials are way better than the G80. It is faster if you care about that.
A little bit less range, which, you know, that's a compromise.
Which is really the biggest thing. Like you do lose about 100 kilometers of range. The G80 also was incredibly quiet. It rode really well. So these kind of are equal in that. Both are extremely good. But like for 120, no. Like I had to go this harsh. We had to go this harsh on this car.
Risking our Mercedes relationship.
Yeah, risking our Mercedes relationship, literally, because it's like, first of all, as journalists, we have to keep integrity, and we have a journalistic duty to, like, if somebody is about to spend $120,000, I have to protect them from this, because this is unreasonably bad.
It feels like Mercedes is riding off of their manpower and just assuming people are going to just gloss over it because it's a Mercedes.
And honestly, I'm kind of shocked. I looked at other reviews and nobody mentioned this.
Yeah,
and it's like, we looked at the other EQE. This is not a lemon, this car.
Yeah, we went to a dealership just to look, just to make sure.
It was a little better, but honestly,
little bit better.
With these materials, I'm pretty sure this is just because this has 8,000 kilometers on it. The other one has 0.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's the only issue. I'm quite shocked that I didn't see any other review mention how terrible the quality is in this.
I mean, like, even like this thing here goes from no gap to like a 1/4 inch gap. It's just like these little things that...
It's so inconsistent.
It's like you said, that it keeps getting worse, and then competitors like Genesis keep getting better.
We live in a world where Hyundai does a better luxury car than Mercedes. Mercedes knows how to build a good car. They decide not to. I'm not going to say why they decide not to, but you can make that assumption for yourself why they decide to cheap out on things. And for that reason, this is the first car I'm ever going to be like, no, don't buy it. Like, usually there's some kind of perspective you can take. There's some kind of like, okay, you know, if you like this, you can take this. Don't.
Unless you, for some reason, need a Mercedes, and that's your brand. And
yeah, if you want to spend $15,000 more to get an inferior product just to boost your ego,
by all means,
I mean, like, yeah,
it's your money.
Go for it. I'm not going to tell you not to do it.
I mean, you're not going to hate driving this car at the end of the day, right?
No, like, you're going to get used to it. It's just
don't touch the interior.
It's just. With that being said, thank you so much for watching.
If you guys like this video, like, subscribe, hit the bell, because we're going to drop a new video every single week.
And we'll see you in the next one.
Peace.